Hey there! Welcome to avtechnician.ca. I'm Paul Donovan. This is your channel for tips and tricks for AV technicians. Welcome back. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, click the like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos, and don't forget to leave me some comments. I love reading the comments that come in. Let's get started. Now, one of the most challenging things about doing an AV setup is the mixer, the audio mixer. Especially with the analog mixers that have all the knobs and sliders and everything else, more times than not, the previous technician who used it, they did not zero out all the knobs and the sliders, and you have to spend the next 5 to 10 minutes just turning them all back to neutral or zero. That's so that you can start fresh and clean. Great, that's the way we work in analog. But today, I'm going to talk about something else. I'm going to talk about digital mixers. I'm not going to talk about all the digital mixers. I could go forever, but I'm going to talk about one specific model. And this is the one from Behringer, Behringer's XR18 digital mixer. This mixer is completely different than anything you've ever seen before. First time you look at it, you say, well, that's a breakout box for the stage, or it's a P16 inner monitor box, or a digital snake, or something like that. But this is a full-powered digital mixer with effects and all sorts of things that's unbelievable. The biggest thing you'll notice when you look at it is there are no knobs, no sliders, nothing. That's it. Now, let's take a look at this baby. I'm using stock images to let you see how it looks because mine is already mounted in an audio jack, and I'll show you it, but it's easier to show you the pictures that are the stock images. So first thing, let's look. Now, all of the things to look at are all on that one surface. So it's depending on how you set it up, it's on the top, or if you have it in a rack, it's on the front. On the one side, I think it's the right side, it has a power cord and the power switch. The other side, the back and the bottom, got nothing. Nothing. That's it. That's it. Everything you need for this thing is all on that one front surface. That's it. Now, you might, okay. You are wondering, how do I control this thing? Aren't you? You are wondering that, aren't you? Well, you can control this thing with your pad, your tablet, your smartphone, or even a computer. You connect through the network wiring system, and you have the ability to control the whole tablet, the whole mixer. Now, it can be an iOS or it can be Android. You can use your smartphone, but I find that the application is way too small on the iPhone or the smartphone to do it effectively. But it's great if that's all you have. But if you've already got yourself an iPad or an Android tablet, you're fine. You may need another computer at the work tech station to help control it if you want, or just a second monitor on an existing computer. But it is all there so you can control it digitally. All right, let's look at the business end of this thing. First thing you'll notice is there's 2 rows of 8 of the standard, well, not standard, they're the combo XLR jacks. That's combo meaning they have XLR or 1/4-inch jacks. And they can be TRS, TS, TRS, TS. Yeah, they can be that way. Mono or stereo. So there's 2 rows of them, and all 16 of them are combo jacks. I mean, that right there already amazes me, because that means that you have the ability to use any of those 16 channels, whichever kind of plug you want to do, whether it's XLR or 1/4-inch, it's there. It's all there for you. That's super cool. Now, all of these inputs are the Midas designed preamps. I'll tell you right now, that's a Behringer thing. That's part of their marketing world, is their Midas preamps. That means something. All I know is it makes them work and they sound cool. Now, those of you with the sharp eyes have probably noticed on channel 1 and 2 there's a little mark that says high Z or high Z, depending on which country you come from. These are where you can plug in your instruments directly without having to go through other devices and so on to get signal in. It's really great. They've only provided 2, and it auto senses whether it needs to be high Z or not. So these are great to have on there. Now you say, well, I thought you said this is 18 channels. Well, it is, because right on the right-hand side, a little more over, you'll see 2 1/4-inch jacks that are marked for your aux in, left and right. There you go. You got 18 channels of input. Isn't that marvelous? Now you go down to the bottom part of the box and you'll notice a row that has 8 standard XLR jacks for output. The first 6 are aux outs that are used for whatever you need aux out channels. Each one can be manipulated separately. You can put 2 of them together to combine them or whatever. Then there's the main outputs, left and right. And then a little bit more to the right, you'll see a headphone jack. And the only knob that is on this entire box is right there, and that's the volume for your headphone jack. There you go. Now, already you are getting excited, aren't you? But thus far, it still just looks like a breakout box or a snake. But it's when you look at the top row, you see the whole reason why this is awesome. It gets you so excited. It's almost better than, never mind. First is the part that deals with networks, okay? So the eagle eyes out there, you may have already noticed over the right-hand side a little beep, a little antenna. Yes, there is built-in wireless ability into this mixer. Yes, it has a built-in Wi-Fi router, so it can be its own access point, so that you can hook up this little router. I believe it's a maximum of 10 devices that can connect up to it. If the little slider right next to the Ethernet jack, that's the first one, is the Ethernet jack. If you slide it, the little slider to the left, it's taking all of its network signal off of the Ethernet jack. If you slide it to the middle, it's pretending it's another wireless Wi-Fi device. And if you slide it all the way to the right, it's using the built-in internal wireless router system. Amazing. It can create its own network, or you can hook it up to an external router, whichever works. Because your mixer and your iPad or your phone or your computer all have to be on the same network in order to be able to connect with them. And maybe you also need the internet. That's why I always operate my own router for this kind of thing. Now, you may have noticed something. There's 2 MIDI jacks. Now, I'm going to admit I never use those. I barely know what MIDI is, let alone how to use it. But if you happen to be a person who uses MIDI controllers, then you will know what that's for. You can do more research on that. 2 more jacks next to that. On the next one over is the USB-B shape plug. The speed on that is USB 2, which is, I believe, around 450 something or others. And it can pass an awful lot of data through. And it is the B plug like you see on printer cables and so on. So you got to be cautious that you get the right kind. And don't confuse it with the USB-C that has the extra little bump on it. Those won't work in this one. And lastly, we have another thing that looks like an Ethernet jack, but is not associated with the network. It is what is used for your stage box, your P16 in-ear monitors box, or any of those other things. This is how you do breakouts off of it. And that allows your mixer to be at the tech table, and you can actually break out through that Ultranet thingamajigger out to a stage box where you can plug in all your microphones up at the stage. Really great, because all you're running is one Ethernet cable all the way from the stage back to tech. The thing is, if those things are not cheap, so I'm not in the market for that kind of thing. Now, big thing. What's included in the box? Well, of course, the mixer is there, naturally. There is a power cord, a standard power cord, and if you're buying it in a different country, and they know you're buying it for a different country. They make sure you get the power cord that works in your country. And there's 2 rack ear mounts that can be attached to the sides to mount it into the typical 19-inch rack, and the little screws needed for the rack ears to attach. Now, something I noticed when I was trying to set this up is I couldn't figure out how to get those ears to attach. But eventually it dawned on me that I have to take the rubber ends off, and then I can attach the racks onto the mixer box. Sounds great. Now I've got 2 pieces of rubber and some screws floating around that I may lose at some point, and I'll be frustrated when that happens, because I was like, what kind of... Now, don't forget that USB jack. It's USB 2 speed, 2.0 speed. That's 450 or 500 something or others per second speed. It can output and input at the same time all 18 channels. All. If you have a software for your computer that's referred to as a DAW, D-A-W, that's Digital Audio Workstation, then you can capture all 18 channels. You can even send them right back up the line to the mixer again. If you want to do some processing in the middle, you want to use some special effects or something like that. This is exciting, and if you're looking for something really compact and something really stupendous to use in your AV work, you might want to consider getting one of these. They're not overly expensive. They're over $1,000 in U.S. currency, and Canadian currency, I believe they're more like 1,400 Canadian. And they're now readily available. You can use these in live performance. They're great in live performance. I have even heard, and I haven't done it yet, but I have mine mounted in the audio rack. I could even leave the audio rack bucket back at the front, back to the front, no, up at the front by the stage, because I have a bunch of wireless microphones built in, and I can have everything just on short cable runs to the mixer. The wireless signals won't get dropped because of the distance to the tech table, and all I have to run is lines to my speakers and lines back to the tech table, so I have audio to do with whatever I need back at the tech table. Oh, and I like to have an Ethernet. Yeah, even though I can have a built-in router that provides me with everything, I like to run an Ethernet cable. So it's something I haven't done yet, but I am contemplating it for the next event, running it at the front so I can do everything at the back. You can use it in the studio recording, as I already mentioned, with DAW. Some of the most popular DAW programs are, of course, Logic Pro for Mac, Ableton Live, FL Studio, Reaper, Avid Pro Tools, Cubase, Bitwist Studio, PreSonus Studio One, GarageBand, which is for Mac and iOS, Mixcraft, Cakewalk by BandLab, Traction, Waveform, and Audacity. That's a lot of varieties. Some of those are either included with your computer or you can download them for free. I can't remember which of these. I even heard there's another one, but that's a good list. So don't forget, one other thing that I've seen people do is you can actually use your iPad to record a full multi-channel recording right on your iPad. GarageBand is a DAW, and it's possible to do the recording on your iPad. And then you can in turn pass it on to your Mac and continue to do the digital mastering of your recording, editing and volumes and everything else you want to do to it on your Mac, and you'll end up with a final product. Now, in the studio, it shines. The 18 channels shine. They love this. These Midas preamps are great. They get nice, clean quality to your recordings. Podcasting. If you're doing podcasts, you get 2, maybe 4 microphones. You may get other sources. It may have too many channels, but it works for you. And then you can do all sorts of post-editing. You can do enhancements and effects and other stuff. You can even do live streaming with this, where you need more than one output. You need an output that goes to the speakers in the room, and you need another output with a different mix that would go to the live stream. you have 6 outputs, and so you potentially have 6 different audio mixes potentially going out to wherever you do. Live stream is one of the ones that I'm going to be doing next month, and it's great. Don't forget, these things are durable. They bounce well. You can even get a padded case to put it in, a little bag that you put it in. It fits perfectly. Again, marvelous. So, there you have it. The Behringer XR18. No, they are not a sponsor. It'd be nice if they would. You can use this thing in live performances and studio recordings, podcasting, live stream, doing mobile events. It's the perfect choice for all of your audio needs. Don't forget to give a chance. Look it up, XR18. Find it from your favorite supplier for audio equipment. It's well worth the investment. And don't forget to have your tablet, of course. Well, thanks for watching. It's avtechnician.ca, your channel for tips and tricks for AV technicians. I'm Paul Donovan. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel so you can get more, and don't forget to leave comments because I do like to read my comments. Thanks for watching, and I do hope to see you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.